In several interviews, director Pascal Laguerre said that Martyrs was his way of coping with the severe depression.
Interesting.
Yeah.
God, how would that cure severe depression? Getting it out of your system?
Well, so what comes hand in hand with depression? Usually there's suicides with that. So maybe he was going through like wanting to off himself, but was scared because what's on the other side. So that
he was pondering death.
Triggered, yeah.
Which I've done myself. I think everyone should do it.
Should do it.
No, I mean ponder it, you know.
Or at least have
Think
done
about
it. It's called intrusive thoughts, but you're not supposed to stay in that.
Well, they're intrusive if you don't want them, but if you want them, they're not intrusive thoughts, right? Because I intentionally studied death, you know, Tibetan Book of the Dead, Egyptian Book of the Dead, kinds of stuff, because I want to know.
Yeah.
Kind of like what these people wanted to know.
Yes.
I want to know what happens. And
okay,
everybody
so then
does.
in that way, but I was thinking the depression part of it, though, I don't think that's a fun place to be in. You don't want to sit there and think about killing yourself.
No, of course not.
But, I mean, death, you should, no, you shouldn't. I mean, it's not like...
Well, we're all going to. Billions have done it, trillions have done it, and we're all going to do it. You know, it's inevitable. No escape.
All right, I was reading comments on the review video. But, okay, so I'm trying to think of where we left off before we cut.
The what?
Where did we leave off before we paused it? Oh.
Well, we were on the last few minutes that Lucy, why the woman screamed and came up and told the other guy she's in transitional state. And then they call all the rich people over, and then Mademoiselle, what's her name? The head boss.
Yes.
So they all convened because they were going to find out what was said. You know.
And then she was taking her makeup off. She was preparing. Why would she take the time to do that, Mademoiselle? After she talked to Anna, she went in the room, she started depowdering.
She got simple.
She got simple. Why? You know what?
That's a good
question.
question.
That made me think, actually. I used to always, when I was younger, for some reason, think about when, like, God would come back. Mm-hmm. And I would say that I would just get naked, like...
Come as you came, kind of thing.
So I wonder if... I don't know if that was it, but...
I've heard, like,
because why would she?
Like,
cleanliness, members.
Yes, next to godliness. Plus, I've seen other movies, like, where, you know, like a Roman's going to end his life because he screwed up in a battle. He would free his slaves and give things away, and then make some decrees, and then take a bath and do it.
That woman didn't free anybody. If anything, she put them in a worse state than they were in, because I'm sure they continued torturing after Mademoiselle. Or what do you think? Do you think that those people...
That's a good question. Does it all end because Mademoiselle, like...
And it,
made a statement of, like...
And she didn't force these people to do anything.
No, and they seem like...
This man...
Most of them were not involved in the torture. They just funded it, I guess. And
it was always a man and a woman, apparently. That's what I got, because remember the husband and wife... Or they had to have been something, because how do you flay someone?
Well, they had to have a doctor do that, because that's tough to do, I think, you know? Like, it's hard to do. Have you ever done a chicken?
Well, that's what I was going to say. I mean, I feel like if you learn how to skin something...
True, you don't really have to be a doctor, but it would help to have knowledge of anatomy and how deep to cut and stuff like that.
So, these people... I mean, it didn't even seem like they affected them, because the people in the beginning who kidnapped and tortured Lucy and other young people.
For 17 years, mind you.
For 17 years. But at that point, I think they were, only 2 years in when Lucy was in the picture, because it was 15 years after she escaped.
Right.
So, and Mademoiselle did say that They were basically sloppy at that time.
Well, and they learned as they went. Yeah, she did. That was the little statement in their meeting.
Well, okay, so it was a blonde woman. That's something I noticed too. They were both blonde women. Gabrielle, the mother that was shot and almost lived. I don't think she would have lived. That's the thing. Anna was not thinking straight. The bitch was gone. You should have.
Well, she used the double-out buckshot.
But it's the people-pleasing part of her.
Yeah.
The mother wound, because she cared for Lucia. She cared for the mother that started, and then she found another victim, started to care for her. At one point, she called her mom. So there was something going on with the woman.
Oh, yeah, she did call her mom. And your mom's like, where are you at? What are you doing? Yeah, and that's when she discovered I
haven't heard from you in 2 years, and now you're calling me, or what's going on? Yes.
Interesting.
But then, so the mom never thought, oh my God, I need to hang up, call the cops, this phone number, or, I don't know if they had that type of technology back then where they can trace phone lines.
I'm sure, yeah.
That wasn't done.
Well, because her mom was like, oh, it's you again, and what do you want now? Are you in trouble? You always call when you're in trouble.
We don't exactly know how much time had passed since that phone call. It could have been weeks, days.
Well, as soon as when she was on the phone, that's when she discovered the room.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. So the mom didn't think like, oh my God, my daughter calls me, doesn't tell me much. The phone, she just ghosted me on the phone.
Didn't even hang it up.
The mom didn't care enough to try to figure it out. So nobody ever.
Well, the reason.
Anna never had a mom, even though the mom was there, accessible.
Well, she was in an orphanage, so the mom obviously gave her up or something.
But did they meet in the orphanage?
Lucy and Anna did. Yeah, they did.
Okay.
Because in the beginning they showed.
You're right. Yeah.
But why was Anna in the orphanage herself? And then she. And then it was an
open adoption or something. Obviously.
The mom gave her up.
Because the mom was, when she heard it was her daughter, she was bringing, like, going to be like, are you going to bring up stuff? Like, where I messed up, basically.
Oh, yeah,
yeah. Keep bringing it up. She didn't, obviously, because we know Anna was scared. She needed her mom.
Right.
But we got to see that's why Anna's the way she is, because her fucking mom doesn't care about her, but I'm sure that's how most orphans feel.
Of course. But at least she knew who her mother was. Most orphans
sometimes
don't.
It's not. Yeah, I don't know how much good that does.
Yeah.
I think it's messed up. I think parents who put their kids up for adoption and then decide, oh, let's keep it open, or whatever, like, that's fucked up. Why? They don't deserve to know anything about that child.
I think that some people give up a kid because they know that it's better off without them, maybe.
Yes, but you're gone. You're not that child's person anymore. You need to let them go.
Well, I think it's the lesser of two evils. Like, this kid stays with us, it's going to be screwed up. But if it's in the orphanage, it has a better chance.
Yes, but that parent shouldn't have the option to go back into that child's life and justify why they did that. Let the fucking child grow up.
Well, maybe Anna reached out.
I'm talking based off actual life stuff and people who are adopted and do connect with their parents, or the parents connect with them or find them and then give them their bullshit story as to why they did this. I mean, it's not bullshit, right? There are reasons people do it.
Yeah.
I would do it if I had to, but wouldn't want to communicate with that child again. They need to just.
Yeah,
it's only going to do more harm, because I'm only communicating with that child to justify why I made that choice, because I'm hurting, it's not really doing anything for the fucking kid.
Right.
It's trying to make me feel better about it. So that's just what I think about those types of situations.
So that was a great analysis of Anna. And Lucy was just too far gone from the get-go. There was no, I guess, hope for her, even after 15 years.
No, but.
Because she was so hurt and damaged that all she thought about was revenge. And then when she got it, she still wasn't free until she freed herself, which was
from her guilt. I don't think it was the hurt and the torture that
It was the guilt
fucked her up. It was the guilt from leaving that
other woman
girl. Yeah.
Who Anna tried to help. I think it was the same woman. It looked the same. The one with the mask, the iron.
I think
thing.
they all looked the same because they were fucking so skinny and malnourished.
Yeah. But there was a similarity.
Because even Anna looked like her at the end.
True. Well,
flayed and everything, just didn't have hair anymore.
Without skin and only a face. Very interesting.
It was so good how they graphed the effects.
Oh yeah.
Because it was from 2008, and
the effects were.
I mean, it looked like really good makeup. If that was makeup, they did a really good job.
It had to be makeup. God, what else could you do? You know, it wasn't CGI. I don't think.
Yeah, that's.
I think it was.
I think we would have been able to tell if it was.
Because
really
they got close-ups of her face, and you could see her shoulders and chest, and it was like muscle, and it looked like the real thing.
Even okay, so I think that the most realistic, not the most realistic, but where I was actually like, okay, this is realistic, is when they showed the light, her looking into the light, and then kind of just tripping a little bit. I feel like that's all it was. I don't think she had thoughts. I don't think she saw like beings or anything, or like was given answers. I think she was just straight tripping.
She saw the light like most people that have.
Because they had a light shining down on her. So of course she's gonna see a fucking light.
But they say with people that did near-death experiences, always see a light. There's always something to guide them towards.
So they shouldn't have put a light above her. They should have put her in the dark.
There was a lot of things.
They should. I know it just was so.
But they had their systematic way of doing it. She would get her daily beatings by that big dude.
Yeah.
Just whoop her butt, you know. And then they said, okay, it's the last stage coming up. After she was just beat every day and just isolated.
She didn't lose her mind like everyone else did.
And I think that was the weakness of everyone else's. They just lost it and got psychotic.
Or was Anna just the weakest one because she already gave her life up to other people? She was a fucking servant.
A true martyr.
Yeah.
So they picked well, I guess, or chance.
They didn't pick her.
No, but
Anna
was gifted to them.
Anna had no common sense. She I don't know what sense she had on her, because she started cleaning up, right? She knew to clean up the scene. She knew to get rid of the body. She knew to do all these certain things.
Right. For Lucy.
But so she was an enabler.
Yeah.
But I mean, even after the lady and the lady coming back to life, and then Lucy turning on her. I'm sorry, Anna turning on Lucy. Why didn't she just leave? Bitch, take the fuck off. Why are you even there? Let fucking Lucy deal with that. You're not the one seeing a demon.
Because that's not how martyrs act. So I think it was, I'm going to sacrifice myself for my friend.
So that's the thing. She already sacrificed herself a long time ago.
True, but at this point, with all this horrific violence and how her friend's falling apart, she's like, I'm going to still... She stayed with her after she offed herself. She still stayed with the body. Remember, and fell asleep, and that's when the people showed up. Because she's still mourning